He said, I told you I have nothing to do with the woman. I didn't fuck the woman. I'm not in love with the woman. What more you want? Nothing is good enough for you. And I tried to show him that those messages broke me.
Cheating is very painful. Knowing that the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with is having an affair with another woman and you find out, especially if you are not cheating, especially if you're in the relationship with a clean heart. Of course, you want to be in a relationship with a clean heart. That is why you decide to marry a person, right? And you finding out that your partner is cheating can break you, because you now start asking so many questions. Why did you do this to me? You start thinking probably you're the problem. You start wondering. It can actually even make you want to commit suicide. So this woman said that she read some text messages in her husband's phone, and he was sending some flirty text messages to his secretary, and the man keeps shouting and at her. When she confronted him, he keeps saying that we didn't have smacks, it was nothing. Most of the time, men feel like just normal conversation on the phone doesn't mean cheating. When you're sending good morning baby, or how you doing, or I'm thinking about you right now, that is you cheating on your wife, right? But most men feel like if they've not had sex with a woman, it does not consider cheating, so they are not cheating yet. So he ignored her emotional, pain and everything, and she came online to just share a little story of she and her husband. I think they're now ex right now. So let's watch the story together, then we'll come back and discuss.
And that's why I don't understand. Why did this man become like this? We were not like this. And from the time I found these text messages, my whole life turned upside down with my husband. He said, I told you I have nothing to do with the woman. I didn't fuck the woman. I'm not in love with the woman. What more you want? Nothing is good enough for you. And I tried to show him that those messages broke me. Those messages, if she said good morning, the right thing, as her senior, you should have said good morning. You shouldn't tell the woman, this is the perfect start to my day. That was my husband's response to her. She texted my husband and invited my husband to a game. My husband said he didn't know he was invited. Now that you invited me, I'll make the time to come. Tell me, how am I supposed to feel for that? She texted my husband and told my husband she's coming to a meeting in Corpus Christi. My husband asked her, would I get to see you before you leave? Right? She said, everyone's just trying to rush out here. He said, okay, what building are you in? I have a 1 o'clock meeting. I'll run down quickly. He showed her his time and affection. She's a married woman. She's a secretary. You are her senior. I am your wife. You didn't show no respect for his job. He didn't show no respect for his wife. And he hates me for speaking about it. He hates me for having feelings. He thinks that I shouldn't speak about it and I shouldn't feel hurt about it. He saw her on a Zoom meeting. She was going to give a cake or something to the senior vice president for his birthday. My husband texted her during this Zoom meeting and said, jealous. And she said, LOL. I got roped into this. You know I don't like to be filmed. My husband said, look on the bright side. I get to see you. You sure look happy. How do I supposed to feel for that, ladies? How? Then my husband said to her, I miss you. She's your secretary where you used to work. How could you miss your secretary and you didn't miss all the other ladies? And she started pursuing my husband. Pursuing my husband with comments, with putting heart emojis, texting him. He telling her, stay warm, get a jacket. She's telling him, did you get a good night rest? Praying your meeting go good. And I have all those text messages, girls. It's no lie. And those things broke me. It made me angry. It made me hurt so badly. I went into a state of depression. And all I asked him if he was sorry, to show me he's sorry. But he hated me for speaking about my hurt. And he resented me for speaking about it. Right? And it just went from bad to worse. It just went from bad to worse. And this is where we are at today. And now he wants to be more nasty and wicked by fighting me for custody for our son that he abandoned and left. That when he worked out of county, I am the one who stayed in this home to take care of our son. For him, for his career. All his life, I supported our children when he flied off to Angola, when he worked night shift and everything, when he worked from 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning to 7 in the night. I am the mother who stayed here with our children and supported my husband's career. And you know what my husband turned to me and said? When I asked him, why? I'm trying to understand. Am I not good enough? What it is I didn't do for you? What it is, am I a bad wife? What is it? And you know what my husband said to me, girls? He said to me, I don't know, I just got comfortable. I am your wife, and you telling your wife you got comfortable with another woman? How you want me to feel? I'm a human being. I have feelings. Girls, I cried. This month, July month, will make it 1 year I found those text messages. And in that 1 year, I tried to commit suicide twice. Because I went into a state of depression. Because he never was supportive of my feelings. He said he's sorry, he loves me, but he couldn't show that affection. When I asked for it, he would shut down and he would leave. And that was very hurtful to me. He would not answer phone calls, he would not answer text messages. And I said to him, the same way you ignore my text messages, you should have ignored the woman text messages. The same way you could text her, you could have texted your wife those nice things. If you felt you were disconnecting with your wife, you should have worked on your marriage and connect with your wife. Because when I made sacrifices to support his career, and he threw away all that for text messages with a woman, to flirt with a woman, and blamed his wife and not take accountability. You know? So that's what my husband did to me, and I went into a state of depression again. I got a relapse, and I tried to commit suicide again. I was in the hospital for a week, and I came back out. When I went into the account and I saw no money, it was Amelia's birthday on the 6th of June, and I went to send her money for her birthday, to wire money via MoneyGram for her birthday. And I saw my husband withdraw all the money and hid it in another account. And I panicked. And when I panicked, I just started to hyperventilate, and I started to cry, and I asked him, why would you do that? You know, we just fall out, and I just taken a little space away from a time for we not to argue, because I wasn't with him. I left the house and I went to the apartment, and I spent 2 nights there. I went on the beach and all of that, take a little break, you know, not for we to argue. And the Wednesday I left. Thursday he went to the bank, opened an account. Friday he withdrew all the money, and he did all that in the space of a few days. So which means he was planning it in his head all the time, all along. And I trusted this man. And I panicked. I got a panic attack. I started to hyperventilate. I was driving. I had nobody with me. I drove back to the apartment. I sat down, and I didn't have anybody to talk to. I forgot to call the hotline number to reach out for help, that I having thoughts. And I took a bunch of medication, and I tried to unalive myself. And again, they found me and saved my life again, you know. And I spent a week in the hospital. And when I came home, he was in the house here with Aiden. And I asked him, he never hugged me when I came out of the hospital. He passed me straight like a dog in the house. And I asked him why. Why it is you can't show affection. If you can't show affection, it means you don't love me. It means you have someone else. It means that you don't want to be in this marriage. And he said, I can't deal with this. I don't want this marriage anymore. I don't want you anymore. And he jumped in his truck and he left. And he left 2 Saturdays ago, and he never came back. I texted him. He never responded, because by then his attorney told him don't to respond to any text messages. I asked him, well, why don't you block me? My attorney said he don't want to block you because he wants to set you up. He wants you to threaten him or say something to him so he can give it to the court. I said, but I didn't threaten him, and I don't threaten him. I just cry about what he does. She said, because if you are a nuisance to him, he should block you. So she told me to block him, and I blocked him. I blocked him. He texted Victoria and said, I tried to tell your mom something, and she blocked me. Right? And I blocked him for my safety. Because he's not blocking me. He likes when I text him, so he wants to tell the court that I am harassing him or texting him. And I don't understand why would he be like that. So I blocked him for the safety of myself, so that he don't set me up and say I threatening him or I doing anything. The most I do is text and cry and ask, why you gotta be like this? Why you had to text the woman? Why you hurt me like this? And I keep asking why, like I'm stupid. You know, I'm so pathetic. I would not ever get the answer. And I know that I have to love me. I have to do what's right for me. It is a hard journey and I have to do right, because you don't just walk away from 24 years of marriage without hurt. Maybe he can, but it hurts me because I have a lot of questions in my head. Why, right? So that's what my husband did to me, and I went into a state of depression. I got a relapse. I was doing really good, and when he did that, I went into a state of relapse again, and that's how I ended up doing that. Now he's trying to weaponize it against me by trying to take away Aiden from me, fight me for custody and all of that, because he's trying to break me. And you know, girls, I may be wrong, right? But from his actions, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, God forgive me if I'm wrong, but the way my husband would trigger me, it's like he wanted me to kill.
Cheating is painful. Finding out that your partner cheated on you is painful. Do you know another annoying part again is their reaction after you found out that they are cheating on you. The way they show that they're sorry, the way they actually ignore your feelings and kind of gaslight you or make you feel bad about how you feel at that point says a lot. You can imagine when she said she was talking and all of that, but all you keep saying that you keep bringing this up, you keep bringing that, nothing happened and all of that. If nothing happened, something was going to happen. Because for her to even memorize all the text message, and this is like a year later, it was hot. Like she was really, really hot. Because she said everything, the text message, as if she was reading the text message and she was not even reading it. She was just saying it from her head. And she said this is like a year after. Definitely, it's true. At that moment, she was really hot. Now imagine you feeling that way and seeing all those messages from your husband that you guys are supposed to spend your entire life together. You're supposed to do life together, and you guys promise each other to be with each other and nobody else, and you finding out that he wants somebody else, and now you're finding out the way he's treating you and making you feel like, okay, what's your problem exactly? Why are you pissed off about text message? I didn't even sleep with the person. That hurts even more. It's so painful that even if you don't have anybody to talk to, especially if you don't have anybody to talk to at that point, you kind of want to blame yourself and thinking that you are the reason whereby your partner is cheating. Probably you're not good looking anymore. Probably you're the problem. That's why she kept asking, why are you doing this? Why did you do it? Did I do anything wrong? Because that's the first question that comes to you. And that's one thing I just wish women can stop, because no matter how much you ask why, you're not the problem. It was never you. Because if there was a problem in the marriage, it will sit you down and you guys are going to sort the problem. And if you even try hard, he will try his possible best and try very hard to solve the problem, not him going out to cheat. And things that if you had not checked his phone, you're not going to find out. And that is how they'll hook up. That's even they didn't even have sex. Because I don't even believe when a man tell you, oh, I didn't have sex with her, that is when they did it. Okay? Because there's nothing good comes out of those people's mouths. If they tell you they did not, they did. Okay? So let's just assume they did not, which I do not believe. Let's assume they did not. Anyway, they will tell you they did not sleep with them. It's just text messages, or they were just being carried away. They were just being comfortable, just as he said that he was just being comfortable with the whole thing and he was just being distracted. You know, they just look for some stupid words. And the thing is that if it was the other way around, it was a woman that it kind of set her phone and she was having the flirty messages with another man, he's going to beat her and kind of beat her till she unalive herself or till he unalives her. But women know will be so pained that we want to unalive ourselves because we feel like we are the problem. We feel like we've done something wrong at a point. And I just feel like women should know that we are not the problem. The moment you realize that you're not the problem, it is that man that has the problem. And the fact that he has done it once, he will continue doing it on and on and on. It's not left to you to stay in that relationship or leave. Another thing is that men actually marry women because of some of them marry you just to hurt you, right? So once they start doing hurtful things to you, especially the ones that actually study your family and see that you don't have any friend, you don't have family around, they kind of want to marry you just to hurt you and make you cry. And once you've done that part and you are getting better, and they see that after I've done all this, this lady is still good, she's still striving, they want to do everything possible just to bring you down. They always want to do everything possible just to, it doesn't have any relationship with the child, but he wants to have full custody of that child. He wants to make her say some terrible things so that he can win in cause. Like, they just always want to look for something. You see a man that is not even paying attention to children in the house, but he will be fighting and be telling the wife, you can leave, but don't live without my children, or don't live with my children, because he knows that that children is the thing that gives his wife joy. So they want to always fight the things that makes you happy. They always want to bring you down. Most men are like that. And the thing is that you will not know until you get married to one of them. Anyways, guys, what's your take on this video? Let me know your thought in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys.